do you increase your referrals? Okay, because I know some of us are just obsessed with making cold calls like I am, but I also get a lot of referrals, and I feel like I haven't talked about that a lot, so I'm going to talk about that today. There's only so many ways to get referrals, okay? And you must treat it just like any other type of prospecting. It's very important to realize that, like, hey, I don't care if you're doing, again, the core four, which we've talked about a bunch of times. You got cold one-to-one, warm one-to-one, and then you got cold one-to-many, and then warm one-to-many. Now, we talk about cold calling a lot. Obviously, today we're going to talk a little bit more about the warm one-to-one. So increasing your referral business, okay, is a very important factor for how staying in the business can help you compound growth. Let me explain what I mean here. What happens here is that during I'm going to do scheduling first, right? Like when to do it, scheduling. For scheduling, this is going to be, if you hate cold calling, this conversation really quickly is for you. If you hate cold calling, but at the same time, call it 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day, right? Because half your business is seller and then half the business is buyer. That's supposed to be an S. And you have 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then you have 1 p.m. to like 7 p.m. Seller business in the morning, buyer business in the evening. Now, if you flip-flop it, that's fine. The reason why I like doing it this way is because sometimes you get super fucking distracted and all this random crap comes up because life will life. And I'd rather have generated 2 seller leads, in my opinion, 2 seller leads versus have generated 2 buyer leads and then all of a sudden my day gets screwed up. I'd rather get screwed up after generating 2 good seller leads than my day getting screwed up and I've only generated 2 decent buyer leads. So you get 2 seller leads and the only other thing I would stress here is 1 true offer. This is just like, this is minimum standards, okay? If you're doing warm one-to-one, this is what I want you to focus on. So basically 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., your goal, instead of 2 seller leads, the way it's going to be written out, because you're obviously not calling sellers, is you're going to want 2 warm referrals, okay? This is per day, by the way. So if you're going to do warm one-to-one, you're going to want to treat it like a business, like your prospecting session. If you're going to get 2 seller leads, you want 2 referrals every day. Let's talk about how to do that. You obviously have a few different things. You have your sphere of influence. You have your database. I'm not talking about sellers, by the way, and not seller leads, okay? You have your database. You have your sphere of influence. Right? You have your contact book, whatever which way you want to look at it, right? Your contact list in your phone, right? However you want to set this up. And then you can even go through social media, okay? And look at like, oh, who do I follow? Who follows me? Who's not a real estate agent, even though we'll talk about resi agents versus commercial agents in a little bit. But these are really the only places that you're going to find people to reach out to. Now, you obviously can also do it cold. There is a way to do it via cold, and I'm going to explain all of them. First off, I'm going to talk about all of the, let's talk about these. Okay, all this. We're going to talk about social media separately, cold separately, okay? But your sphere of influence database contact list, which is basically just your cell phone and going through your contact list, okay? What you're going to do is that you're going to do every day, and again, you got the 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. time frame, every day. If you're not doing cold calls, by the way, and any day that you're not going to make your cold calls, you can do this. During this time frame, all you're going to do is you're going to start with your A's, and you're going to go to your B's. You're just going to complete them, right? You do that, great. You do that, great. You go to your C's, and you just keep going down the alphabet. And then as soon as you get to your Z's, if you have anybody, you check this list, you go back to your A's. Okay? Don't make it complicated. You're like, oh, who should I call first? Every single person in your database. There's not a better or worse person. I would just tell you to go through your entire list because what you're filtering out is just like you have a VIP buyers list. Guess what? There's something called a professional partners list. You're trying to build a professional partners list. Okay, a list of professional partners. This is just individuals. They don't have to actually be professionals, but these are just individuals, okay, that are not sellers and they're not buyers. Don't get me wrong, they can end up being sellers or buyers, but this is not specifically your sellers list or whatever, okay? These are just individuals who can refer you business. I don't even want to say not a seller, not a buyer, just anybody who can refer you business. That's what you're building here. You're building a relationship list. This is going to be your top of your relationship list because you're going to have basically a professional partners list, and the goal is that you have a professional partners list that's anywhere between 20 and 100 people. My list is anywhere between, it really ranges, but typically like 40 to 60, 40 to 70. But because it changes all the time. Because like sometimes you have conversations and they're like, hey, I'm moving to Europe, right? Like things are going to change in their lives and things are going to change in your life, right? When I moved to Miami, obviously I'm adding a lot of people in Miami, but I'm also realizing in Miami, it's very hard to meet, true, real people. So sometimes when you think that someone's like a really good connection and then you realize they're full of shit. So anyways, you got to vet some people out. So anyways, that's why they're saying this list will grow and change and adapt over time. But the whole purpose of this list is that these are going to be individuals who can refer you business. So let's talk about, now you understand the premise. I'm going to quickly talk about what you say. So the script. Okay, script is very simplistic, by the way. Okay, script is very simple. The goal is this is the process, right? You're just going to build rapport, okay, / connection. These people, you have to like them. This is not like one of those things where you're just going to kind of bullshit your way to doing it, okay? You actually have to enjoy the conversation, at least majority of the time. For these people, I would urge you to realize that you need to build some serious rapport and some serious connection, because people will only refer you, right, in order to get referrals, because that's our goal. This is the objective, right? Our objective is to get referrals. But the way to get, again, you're going to get this because they know you, right? They like you, and they trust you. And a lot of the things that people talk about, because besides know, like, trust, is they know how and / who to refer you to. Because everyone just stops here. This is so fucking funny to me. Every year in my life, whenever I heard somebody say this at an event, they're like, oh, a referral, people are all going to refer you because they know you, like you, and trust you. So you have to make sure they know you, they like you, and they trust you. But they always forget the other more important part, which is they know who and how to refer you. Because sometimes just because they know you, like, and trust you, doesn't mean that they know who to refer you to or even how to refer you. Who here has gotten a referral from somebody and they refer you in this way? And they go, hey, I told somebody about you and I gave them your phone number. Has anybody gotten this before? Or it's like, oh yeah, I gave somebody your phone number. This is the worst way to get a referral. No one likes getting referrals that way. I want to get referrals in where it's like, hey, I put you in a group text with so-and-so, right? That's the way I want to get a referral. I want a referral from, I don't care the person specifically. I care, who they are, because I want to make sure we can close the deal. But I want to make sure they do it in the way that I want to be referred. So group text me with the person so I have their cell phone number. I hate when they go like, yeah, like I told them all about you and they should be reaching out to you. No. You give me their phone number, right? That's what we want. They know you, like, and trust you, and they know who and how to refer you. Very important. So first off, you're going to build rapport and connection. So when you call these people up, some of these people you haven't spoken to since fucking high school or college, maybe, right? When you call these people up, the whole purpose of the beginning part of the call is to not be fucking weird. Because I'm telling you right now, I have been really fucking weird on some of those calls. Because you just get weird about it. You're just like, hey, like, my goal here is to get referrals, and like, I don't know how to like segue it. I had to build the fucking script myself. Nobody taught me. So it's like, upon doing it, I was pretty freaking awkward. And what I've realized now, it's sort of just like, let's say it's me and Carl. Me and Carl are good friends from way back. And I call Carl and be like, hey, Carl, it's Henry Eisenstein. I don't even know if you have my phone number anymore, but, look, I was scrolling through social media and I randomly saw you and I just was like, man, I haven't spoken to you in so long and I just wanted to see how you and the family are doing. I saw you had a new kid or whatever it was. Like, I just relate to something through social media a lot of the time is how I bridge the gap. Sometimes you can be like, listen, I kind of miss you, man. Like, it's been a while and I wanted to at least reach out and see how you're doing. That's how I've typically started the conversation. And then they're like, wow, like, I've been following you on social media too. And like, it seems like you're doing well and whatever, right? Like, and you're going to get into a good conversation. You're going to be like, oh, Carl, tell me more about what's going on in your life right now. And then you tell me more about what's going on in your life. I'm like, oh my God, that's cool. And whatever. We dive into all these different things. And I always just keep asking questions about Carl. I don't want him to ask anything about me. And I don't want to say I'm deflecting, but like, I'm going to keep going into, about his life as an example. And then towards the end of the conversation, based on what Carl, this is very important though, based on how Carl responds to me, we're going to do two things. I'm vetting the shit out of Carl. I want to see if this guy belongs on my professional partners list. Because if Carl goes hypothetically like, yeah, I got into, I'm trying to think of something silly here. I sell blankets. I don't know. I see a blanket on my couch. I sell blankets now, or I sell mattresses at Sleepy's or whatever the heck it is, right? A mattress firm, whatever, right? Like, because you're catching up with random people. They're a bartender at Applebee's. Who gives a shit? The point is that there's something that, like, when I vet this person out, you're like, I don't think there's going to be anything here, right? Like, this is probably not going to be a professional relationship that's going to be, it's going to bear a lot of fruit. And I'm not trying to poke fun at anybody. I'm just being real. And if we feel that way, no problem. I'm glad I caught up with Carl. I'm glad his life's doing well. But Carl is like, look, towards the end of the conversation, this is the referral script, by the way. I'm going to give it to you right now. And I also want you to know, I'm going to use this no matter what. But number one is, I'm always going to be vetting this person out to see if they're even going to be someone who I want to be on my professional partners list or not. I'm going to talk about who we want it, obviously, to be. And then number two is their referral script. So let's talk about a referral script. Number one, it's a 3-step process. Can I ask you a favor? Number one, can I ask you a favor? Number one, can I ask you for a favor? Can I ask you a favor? No one's going to say no, by the way. I've never once, and I've said this probably, 10,000 times. No one has ever once said no. The only person, I've had people say, I'm kind of busy right now, but sure, right? Like, but no one says no. Number one, can I ask you for a favor? Number two, can I count on you for one great referral in the next 30 days. Number one, can I ask you for a favor? Number two, can I count on you for one great referral in the next 30 days? Very simple script. Because I want to be fucking direct, okay? Because sometimes people are just like, hey, if you happen to know somebody who's looking to buy or sell commercial real estate, would you think of me? No, that's not what the fuck we say, okay? That's somebody who gets no referrals, okay? If you want to get referrals, you're very fucking direct. I say, can I count on you for one great referral within the next 30 days? And now, this is not the whole script yet. This is just part of it. What you're going to say now is at the end of this, you're going to say someone who, and you're going to describe who you want. So if me and Carl are talking, okay? Me and Carl are talking, I say, Carl, it's been awesome catching up with you. Before I let you go, can I ask you for a favor? You're going to say yes. You always do. Everyone always does. And I say, Carl, can I count on you for one great referral in the next 30 days? And I say, someone who is looking to XYZ. And here's the best part. I want to make it as relatable as possible for Carl or whoever this person is. Okay? So watch this. Carl, if you come off mute for me, if you don't mind, I want to role play with you.
Yeah, sure thing.
Thank you, brother. What happens here is interesting. All right, Carl, we're going to first have you, sadly, you're going to be like a mattress guy or you're going to be like working at Applebee's as like a bartender. Because we're catching up with people and they're going to have all sorts of fucking jobs. Okay? The point is when someone's not in the real estate world, and it would be really dumb for us to say, hey, if you run across somebody who owns a lot of commercial real estate, couldn't you refer me, right? It's like the odds are very fucking low that person would know someone. Who do you think, I'm not here to put you on the spot or anything, but I know we've been together for a while. So I'm just curious, who do you think we should ask them for?
Anybody they might know that's looking to transact, I guess. Yeah.
So what I found is actually better is that we ask them for professionals who can refer us business instead of the actual lead. Because what I found is that like when you're working with people, and I want to role play this for a second, okay? But it's like instead of me calling up somebody as soon, because this is why we're vetting them, right? So we're vetting them on the phone. So again, like you're calling all your friends, family, and their friends of friends, and all these people in your contact list, and you speak to somebody who really is not going to be someone who's going to refer you to somebody who owns a $10 million commercial property. Okay, the odds are low. But this person might know a financial advisor, they might know an accountant, they might know a commercial lender, they might know people who could refer you lots of business. And that is way more likely than somebody who owns a bunch of commercial real estate. Because like think about it, if this guy makes 60 grand a year, what's the odds of them knowing somebody? So I'm gonna role play this with you, okay? And then we're gonna role play it where Carl's a badass and he's making a bunch of money, and we're gonna talk to him like he's a very successful man, and we're gonna pivot the script slightly. So I'll be like, Carl, we just finished our rapport and connection and stuff. I'm like, Carl, can I ask you for a favor?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, Carl. Can I count on you for one great referral of someone who's interested in who's possibly interested in I just say, Carl, can I ask you for a favor? I'm looking for one person. Can you refer me one person within the next 30 days of someone who is in let's say a commercial real estate lender or a commercial real estate attorney or a real estate attorney? You can be specific. I'm just trying to think of any professional partner from my list that I'm going to share with you in a second. But can I count on you for someone who's maybe a real estate lender or or a commercial real estate attorney? Do you happen to know of anybody?
Yeah, there's somebody that comes and sits down every Friday night at Applebee's when I'm working. They might be into real estate.
Okay, cool, awesome. I would appreciate that. Can I count on you for that within the next 30 days? If I call you next week or the week after, that you probably have his contact information?
Yeah, he's generally there every Friday night, so I should be able to get some information for you.
Cool, awesome. I appreciate that. So I can call you. What time should I call you next week just to follow up?
Try Monday morning.
Okay, cool, amazing. So look, real quick. And a role play. The whole purpose here is like, I just want to know I can count on him to get somebody's contact information of somebody who could refer me. Because there's two different types of ways that you're going to go about this. This is one, okay? More for professionals, not for specifically a lead. Okay, now, Carl, you run an investment company, right? Like you're a successful guy. You're in the financial services. Let's say you're a multimillionaire. You probably own a bunch of commercial real estate yourself. Maybe you and I, we know each other obviously decently well. Maybe even you and I have done some business. Maybe I sold you one deal, or maybe I helped you sell a deal within the last 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years. All right, Carl, we finished up the rapport building. And before the conversation ends, I'm just going to go, Carl, can I ask you for a favor? Can I count on you for one great referral? Someone who's just like you, someone who's looking to, who owns a portfolio. Maybe they're looking to liquidate, just like I helped you sell that property on 123 Main Street last year, right? Can I count on you for somebody within the next 30 days?
Yeah, I've got a niece that's starting to think about liquidating a few of her properties and 1031ing into something else.
Awesome. When should I follow up with you to get your niece's contact information, or do you happen to have it now?
I can text it over to you right now.
Okay, cool. Do you mind doing that right now? We're on the call before I forget. I'm just about to
Sure
run.
thing.
The whole point here is you just want to be fucking direct. Carl, sorry for putting you on the spot, but I appreciate you very much. There's drastic differences, and I hope you guys are realizing, because it's like what happens is that we're on the phone with somebody, and you're like, oh, this is some guy from high school who still works at a gas station. He worked at a gas station then, he still works at a gas station now, right? And you're like, what do you mean I'm going to ask this person for a referral? It's like they're not going to know anybody in the commercial real estate business who's interested in buying or selling commercial real estate property, right? Well, you ask them for a professional. Let's talk about who the professional is. So by the way, there's someone who, and then I like to tie it down. Number 3 is the tie down. And there's a couple ways you can do the tie down. I did it kind of different ways in there. Tie down for me is you repeat, can I count on you for that? To do that? For that? Can I count on you for that? The whole point here is you're tying them down and say like, hey, can you confirm that you will do this for me? And if they happen to have somebody, which not is always the case. I mean, obviously Carl was very generous to say that he had some people in mind already. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes or a majority of the time, in my experience, you're gonna have some people and they say like, I really don't know anybody, but I'll definitely keep my eyes open. Well, look, regardless, I appreciate that. That's all I can ever ask for. But again, can I, do you mind if I maybe touch base with you in maybe like 2 or 3 weeks to see if anyone's come across your plate or within your network and maybe somebody you can refer to me? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, listen, man, awesome connection, connecting with you, catching up with you. This is why, by the way, the rapport and connection is really important. Because if you did a shit job on building rapport and connection, what's the odds of you getting a referral? Pretty low. They're not going to want to talk to you, right? Let alone refer you business.